Hey guys, in this video I'm doing my review of the Razer Deathadder V2 Pro. I've actually had this mouse for a while, and yeah, so I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on this mouse. And also I'll be comparing it to my first Deathadder, the V3 Pro, as well. So, yeah, and also this is my first time actually trying out the original Deathadder shape as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and now let's get right into the video. So this mouse actually did release all the way back in 2020, a few months after the Viper Ultimate, which I did use a long time ago, back in I believe 2021. Then I believe I've stopped using it whenever sometime the year after I got the V2 Pro, and this mouse is pretty much the first wireless Razer Deathadder mouse as well. And when they released it, I was like, oh my gosh, finally a wireless Razer Deathadder mouse. Because I believe the only popular ones, or the one still released before, was the Razer Deathadder V2, which was the wired one, which had RGB on the scroll wheel. This one only has RGB on the Razer logo. And the wired one was about 83 grams. This is 88 grams, I believe. And yeah, so, and also the other popular ones, I believe, is like the Deathadder Elite as well. And when this mouse did release, it had Razer Sensi optical switches as well, which I believe the original Viper Ultimates had Gen 1s, and then they shipped out or released the Viper Ultimate with these same switches, and the Viper Mini also had the Gen 2 opticals. These don't feel bad or garbage by any means, but they're not the best feeling sounding switches. Scroll wheel, it's pretty okay. I had no mouse that had I have never had any problems with the scroll wheel, and other mice that I've used, their scroll wheels have worked just fine. But it is worth noting that if you do have some mouse, it could potentially break. But hey, I used the Viper Ultimate back then for like the longest time, since like Chapter 2 and Fortnite, and Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 of Fortnite. But the one mouse was made back then was that mouse, the original Super Light, and I think some other mouse. Not I think. So yeah, I had no issues on the Viper Ultimate scroll wheel since I've used it for the longest time. So yeah, side buttons here are actually really nice. They're not like mushy like on the Super Lights, and they're big like a G703 mouse, even though they're not separated on this mouse. I believe, am I crazy to say that I think the only Razer Deathadder mice that has separated side buttons is the V3 Hyperspeed and the V4 Pro? Don't know. It's kind of like the whole Viper Ultimate V2 Pro thing and the V3 Pro, where the V3 Pro had the side buttons separated. But yeah. You have your DPI up and down buttons on here, and the shelf for the top shelf for where like you click stuff, and actually there's only like one piece. The clicks are not separated like on the V3 Pro, as you can see. And yes, this mouse also does have a scroll wheel problem as well. But I have not had any issues with the scroll wheel on my V2 Pro at all. And the one thing I know a lot of people hate is rubberized sides, but honestly I've already gotten used to it, where like on the sides they're like rubber, and I know a lot of people don't like it because this is annoys them, but I got used to them as well already. Like on my Basilisk V3 Pro, my Viper Ultimates as well. But I believe like the Razer Smooth Touch coating on my we have here on my V3 Pro. I believe this is much better than the rubber sides on this mouse. But I know Razer does have the Smooth Touch coating on the V3 Pro, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't believe I have the Smooth Touch coating on my V3 Pro here. And I believe it could be the original coating on the black variant of my V3 Pro before Razer used the Smooth Touch coating on the Deathadder V3 Pro. But yeah, I mean, but the coating on the V2 Pro actually feels a lot better than on my V3 Pro, despite that it's not the Smooth Touch coating V2. And the sensor here is also using the Focus, Razer Focus. Let's see, it doesn't even say on this mouse. Was it the Focus Plus? I think it was the Focus Plus sensor. And this mouse goes up all the way to 20,000 dpi as well. And the skates are rounded, except for the skate in the middle around the sensor. But it's still going to give you a smooth glide as well. No drag, you're not thin. And also, you can also use this with the charging dock. You can buy the mouse with the charging dock or without it, or buy the charging dock separately. I believe the charging dock was like $40-50 back then. And I believe it was like 150 with both of them, or I think it was more than that. And yeah, so let me turn on this mouse. So as you see when I turn on, I don't know why it's just only it goes to purple. I think it's just I think it's just trying to it's just pairing to it's just trying to pair to the receiver. And yeah, so all we do is sound test all the buttons now. Hopefully the mic picked up some of the button sounds. But yeah, also one thing to note is that it does use micro USB. I know, like, boo-hoo, micro USB sucks. I mean, it still does, but I personally just don't charge with the micro USB thing. I just use a charging dock if I ever feel like I want to play games with this mouse. But I don't feel like 88 grams, that's too heavy. I'm too weak to lift that. But I've used the original G502 Lightspeed, bruh. And that had micro USB as well. And it felt worse than the Deathadder V2 Pro. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.